quench. After a year, the word I go. So, and every time I used to say that thing is when I used to be pulled from the back. Emmanuel, you cannot, like you, where you are seated, that is not you. That is not where you should be. So every time that I will want to go far away, what happened is that there is a force. There is a force that will always pull you. It will always pull you. So if you think that you've given up, what God is saying is that I'm not yet done with you. It's not yet done. So Naomi might have thought that it is done. Me, I cannot continue. Enough is enough. But God was like, you still don't know. You still don't know what I am doing. So the Moabites, they are associated with the people who doesn't serve God, and there are people like they have their own gods. So you will be like, how can this happen? That the people that doesn't serve God, the people that doesn't believe in our God, that Jesus will come out of it. So in the gospel, this signifies that, you see, during the times of apostles, what happened is that the gospel was not for the Gentiles. Gospel was never for the Gentiles. It was only for the Israelites. And what happened is that Peter, he was brought us, the scroll came, the screen, in a trance, and he was shown everything. And he was like, these things, they are forbidden. And God told Peter, don't term what I've called holy to be unholy. And he was like, okay. So what happened is that this is a journey of transformation. This is a journey of redemption. You see, this is a journey of redemption. That's why in when you read the Bible in the book of Ruth chapter 3 is the journey of redemption, whereby Naomi now she's giving Ruth strategies. She's giving Ruth strategies on how she will win the heart of Boaz, because Boaz is one of the kingsmen, is one of the relatives. Is one of the relatives to the husband to Naomi, Elimelech. So she's like, okay, let me go. So in this scenario, what happened is that the Boaz is amazed, he's surprised with kindness and generosity of Ruth. She's like, look at what you have done to that woman. Even in the last point of a moment, you've decided to stay with her, and you have decided to do all this. So she's amazed. She's like, you will stay with me here. And another thing is that this guy is hardworking. This lady, Ruth, she's hardworking. So what happened? She told in chapter 2. In chapter 2, let us just read. So one day Ruth said to Naomi, let me go, chapter 2 verses 2. One day Ruth said to Naomi, let me go out into the field to gather leftovers, grain behind anyone who will let me do it. And Naomi said, all right, my daughter, go ahead. So Ruth went.
I think we are losing me, Manuel, or is it just me?
The avatar's reply.
Your sound. I think you're hanging. Your Wi-Fi maybe.
Yeah.
You guys here? Okay.
I will gather.
Manuel,
okay, right behind the women working in my field. So the
all right.
gain trust in her.
Oh wow, he's still teaching.
Why are you?
Yeah, that is what I was waiting for. Sometimes after something like that, you just drop and then be able to come back. But I believe you guys are getting blessed, and I'm just reading some comments here. It's interesting. Let's just chat even as we're waiting for him to log back in. I hope I get to see him when he logs back in and in again. I'm waiting. So I'm just looking at the comments and I'm seeing the things that people are commenting. Those of you who have never seen Emmanuel, he's one of the guys that did Square, our video, and he's so volatile and on fire. So for him saying that he always wanted to stay at the back, I'm like, you know that fire, which back? I mean, we're gonna ban the back then. So it's so good to have him here, and we're looking forward. Those of you that came late, you may not know what's happening because we were supposed to continue with the book of Judges, but then Beatrice had an appointment and she totally refused that I continue with the book of Judges. We are still waiting for Emmanuel to log in so that he comes and concludes. So anyway, she's here. I think Beatrice is here. So she completely refused that I do the book of Judges. I think she really late. She had an appointment that was coming earlier than the time that we log out. And so I wanted us to proceed then, if I cannot teach it, because say, please, Pastor James, don't take it away from me. I really am learning a lot when I read the Bible and come teach it. Just the same way like Pakamani was telling us the other time. Pakamani told us she's looking forward to teach again. So these are very good feedback that we are facing, that people are now loving it, and not just that, the people are willing to do it over and over again. While many people will not be comfortable teaching, but people want to do it. So Beatrice told me, don't teach it, I want to do it. So that is why Emmanuel is doing the book of Ruth today, because I didn't have any other option. Okay, so yeah, so you guys are lovely. Let's see if he's back. I'm not sure that he's been able to log in. I cannot still find him. Can anybody just call him and let him know that he dropped? I hope he's not still talking. Joy, can you just call Emmanuel, let him know that he dropped out of the call so that he can just come and just conclude. Today is also the day we always do the Holy Communion. We are almost at the time where we finish and do the communion. So in this time, you can just go do your communion when we wait for him to come. Now, one of the things that is very interesting about this book is that it's written after its character, not because it was Ruth who wrote this book. And she is the main character, and the book is basically written for the preservation of the genealogy, and this is basically the genealogy of Jesus Christ. He's already spoken about the famine and the lessons we get from a famine. He's already said that we need to always make sure we have the voice and the direction of God in the time of famine, because these are the time that are so testing that if we are not careful, we find ourselves in a place of captivity. And this has happened to quite a lot of people. There are challenge comes, a time of testing comes, and then you find yourself in captivity because you tend to go to Egypt for help. So he's really spoken about that. And he's also spoken about the power that is behind our names. And he went all the way explaining the different names that we find in the book of Ruth. So those, I'm saying this because I saw, I think people logged in late today, but he's already gone through this. And okay, he's trying to get back. Thank you, George. And so we were able to see the story of Jabez. He kind of touched the story of Jabez, which was very interesting. And also, I believe even as he was speaking that, he said that we should be always be able to probe the meaning of our name, and it's possible for us to change. So even though you have a name that is really not corresponding with the destiny that God has for you, you can always change it. Of course, through the Spirit. And he also spoke about our devotion to God. That means that even when we are serving God, we should serve God beyond the profits that we receive from Him. That does not mean that now we negate the fact that when we serve God, there is profit. So that is a very important thing for us to strike balance. We're not serving Him for profit, but because Christ came, died at the cross, and we got the victory. When we are serving Him, we must really take the profit. Why? Even if you look at the children of Israel, every time they go to battle, they would always collect the spoil when the Lord tells them to collect the spoil. So when you go through battle, one of the things that you should be okay to expect and to do is to collect the spoil, right? And so that's basically where he has been so far. I'm sure I have not left anything. He was still, I think, in chapter 1. Do you know, interestingly, I told him to teach the book of Ruth because in my head, I'm thinking the book of Ruth is very short. Emmanuel is a man of fire. He's just going to compress this book in one Bible study and we're going to be done. But guys, we are 9 o'clock here in Kenya. I'm sure you guys have different time zones, but I think he's still in chapter 1. I don't know whether I'm wrong, but you're laughing, Betty. He's in chapter 1. The person I was expecting to teach that whole book in one Bible study, he's the one who is teaching line by line, putting and laying precept on precept, okay? So looks like we are not going to be able to do that book once and finish. So that still leaves us with the same dilemma, whereby we might now need to juggle between these two books. And I see he's not back yet. I think what we will do, we're just going to go to the communion. We can continue next time because it's already 8 minutes to our time. Oh, he's here. All right. Let him just come and let's unmute yourself, Emmanuel. So we are sorry for what happened to you. I was just doing a recap on what you taught so far. It is well, these challenges of Wi-Fi changes, it happens a lot to me, by the way, when my Wi-Fi just goes highway, and it begins to catch a different internet, even the neighbor's internet that is not even stable. So it's okay. Now we have 8 minutes left, so you can maybe just go as far. And then I was just telling the people, I thought Emmanuel will finish this book in one Bible study. But as it looks right now, we are still in chapter 1. Well, I'm not complaining. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm sorry for that. And let us just speak something here. So there is this text that is from, as I was doing my investigations, there is this text from Rabbah. So this is what he's saying. Ruth and Orpah are said to be the daughters of Elgon. So the king of Moab, Elgon was the king of Moab. And this Midrashic interpretation provides a background for these characters that this is not in the Bible. This just, I think, is a Jew Bible. So they are speaking about the background of Ruth and Orpah. So, and they are saying that they are daughters of Elgon, the king of Moab. So this Midrashic, it is called Midrashic interpretation. It provides the background for these characters that is not included in the biblical text itself. So Ruth Rabbah is a compilation of Jewish rabbinic commentary. So let me just define that thing. So a Midrashic text refer to a form of Jewish exegesis or commentary on the Hebrew scriptures. So Midrash comes from the Greek, from the Hebrew word. Its root is darash, meaning to seek or to inquire. So these guys have gone ahead and inquired the background of Ruth and Orpah. So, And this is now these guys, if this is their background, it means these guys, there is a God, the God of Moab. There is a God that they used to worship. So if she's like saying, my God will be your God, it's like you are saying, I have denied my gods. I have denied the God of my fathers. I have denied the God of my mothers. I have decided to follow you. Like Peter, John, and James, they're like, now we've denied to garner our fish. We don't want to fish again. We want to fish what you want us to fish now. And Jesus is telling them, I will make you fishers of men. So, and this is the case with Ruth. Now I'm leaving whatever, because if you are the daughter of king, it means when you are, and this was the law. The law was when your husband dies. In fact, they died when they were still young, 10 years in marriage. Yobado, you've not yet enjoyed life together. 10 years is very small. Yeah, 10 years is very small. So like they have not yet stayed in marriage. Let them stay there for 40 years, 50 years, so that they can look like brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus. So I'm sorry for that. And so these guys they are dead. So, and the law was, if your husband dies when you're young, what happened is that you go back to your mother and father. So this is the middle of crisis. And you are like being told, Naomi is telling them, you should go back to your parents. Just go back to your parents. What will happen is that you will be sustained there. You will get everything that you want there. There is everything, because when your father is a king, then I don't think if you will want to remain with an orphan. You'll be like, let me go. I've not yet been chased out of my father's house. I can still go back. You see, I can still go back and remain there. But Ruth is opposite of Orpha. She's like, me, I want to go. You see, this my gods, the gods of my fathers, I don't want to serve them. The things they used to do, I don't want to do them no more. I just want to do what you do. Because you never knew what Ruth saw in Naomi that she could follow her. You see, when my father is a president, I'll be like, instead of suffering here, let me go back to my father. My father is a president. I can have a better life in the state house than staying with an orphan that has come to tarry where there is famine. She has come for rescue. So it is better than I go back to my father. But I think this is what people doesn't see. You see, spiritually, physically, you might see like mountains, but spiritually, what happened is that there is now this mountain, they are not being moved. What happened is that you are being given wings to fly above the mountains. You're being given wings. So what Ruth is seeing, she's seeing wings, but the mother-in-law, she's seeing how God has dealt heavily, bitterly with her. She's like, me, I just want to go back to my place. Let me go back there. So this is catastrophic. And it's a big thing. It's a big thing when you think in your mind, when you begin to comprehend things with your mind, you will be like, I don't think trusting in God here is a good thing. Let me go just seek other ways. Let me seek her. And most of the people, they have found themselves going back to evil ways. And what happened is that the devil used that loophole. The devil, he will not pull you there. He will use whatever you've thought. So he will just want to enter into your will. If, like I was telling my guys the other day, if you decide to fornicate, what happened is that now the devil will come and build stronghold in that thing. So you become that thing, because now he have found a loophole. So when you open a way for him, a door for him, what happens is that it becomes a legality. He'll be using it to enter. So that is so this is what he said. These guys, these two young ladies, they were from a good background, but one decided to, even if this woman has nothing, I think there is something that God had shown her, that she wouldn't let this woman go, that I will be with her, I will comfort her. I know my husband is dead, but I will be a comfort to her. You see, she still had hope. So the bad thing, Pastor Charles used to, he loved to say this, that if the worst thing a Christian can do is to lose hope. You should never lose hope, even if what happened. You should never stay there. You say, even if, you see, these guys, they were put into the fire. And before they were put into the fire, they were like, you see, there is one thing we cannot do. And they told the king, we will not be careful on this matter. So this is not a matter to be careful. If we are not redeemed, what happened is that just put us in that fire. And even if God does not deliver us, we will not worship your God. What happened is that you should not frail, stop. You should continue. You should be continuously staying there. Ask God, what should I do in this situation? So let us capture, our time is gone. Our time is gone. So let's just capture two things, then I'll be done.